Well, gather round, y'all, let me tell you a tale about a man named Ron who's blazing the trail. They say Scott Hammer's the boss on the show, but Ron's the one driving, just so y'all know. Ron Miller, he's the one in charge. Tearing Hammer down like a big old barge. Scott, don't worry, it's all in fun. Ron's a real host when the race is run. Now Ron talks engines and he talks...
This is the Hammer Down Racing Report, and now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, part of the Evergreen Podcast Network. This is show number 367 for Thursday, February 20th. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all from the Dominator Race Products studio. Tonight on the show, we're going to be talking 50 years of Oakshade Raceway racing, which you were a part of a lot of those years.
A whole lot, yeah.
So Christina Hendricks will be joining us here shortly about that. Plus, we have Oakshade trivia for the free passes. We're going to be drawing from last week's question here in just a few seconds. So hopefully you're tuned in, because you have to be listening. You have 5 minutes once we draw your name to claim those free passes for Oakshade
Otherwise,
Raceway.
you get a black flag, and
we'll go on to the
next one.
There you go. It's like a Australian Pursuit race,
yeah,
backwards. Something. Also, hashtag DCR. Put that in the comments of our Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. I believe it even works too. We'll be drawing for a Hammer Down Racing Report to a window sticker, one of these bad boys here, at the end of the show. Right there. There you go. That's courtesy of DCR Graphics. You can also buy those for $5. Slap them on your race car if you got a race car. You'll be part of the Hammer Down Army if you send us a picture of it.
Yeah.
And we'll report on where you finish each and every week, assuming you race each and every week, and you also submit your results.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of participation involved.
It's a multifaceted participation.
Yeah, it is. So before we get too far here, how about we draw for the Oakshade Raceway trivia question from last week,
Great.
Which was the very first birthday race winner, which was back in 1998. And, of course, you know who it is, right?
What's that?
You know who that is.
I do.
Would you like to share?
No. It's
Why not?
somebody's going to have to guess.
No, they already guessed.
Oh.
We already did that. Donnie Moran.
Yeah.
So everybody that
Donnie
guessed.
Moran. Not Devin. Donnie.
Donnie
yeah.
Moran, yes.
The old man.
The old guy, sure. So everybody that guessed has been put on the wheel here. So we're going to spin the wheel. If we draw your name, you will have 5 minutes to put in the comments, I win. If you don't do that within 5 minutes, we're going to move on to
the next
person. Exactly. So, and there's enough names on here. We could go pretty much the whole show.
I was
with
thinking
it.
it was going to be a pretty significant wheel.
Yeah. So here we go for a pair of grandstand passes. This is good for one night at Oakshade Raceway. Right here, these guys. Here we go, going to spin the wheel. I know that person.
Really?
I don't know if she's listening though.
Oh, this could be a problem.
It could be. Jamie Jalal, you have 5 minutes to type I win in the comments of our Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. And if you don't, we'll be giving these away to the next person. So if you know Jamie Jalal and she's not listening, then make sure to contact her and maybe she can log in here within 5 minutes.
Don't contact her and maybe you'll win on the redraw.
There you go. That's the other thing. So I guess she's listening. She won. Congratulations! Jamie Jalal, you win a pair of pair of passes, I should say, for Oakshade Raceway. Right there they are.
Ooh, pretty cool.
Yeah. I won't even make you go to rounds to pick those up. So
and she even put the exclamation points in.
That's awesome.
She's excited.
Did I have that in my? No, I didn't. I did make some changes in the rules though. Moving forward, yeah. Since we only have a limited number of these, I don't want to have repeat winners.
Right.
So once you win, you're done. Because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 3 more pairs to give away. So we kind of want to spread the wealth as much as we can.
Absolutely.
So if you've already won, then you're not in the running. Also, I did notice some misspellings.
Really?
So spelling does count. If you guess,
I
spelling
win
does
and
count.
they can't spell it?
Well, this week's question, which we'll do at the end of the show, is not a name. It's a how many kind of thing.
Oh.
Not to be confused with our regular how many.
Different how many.
But it's funny because our how many has to do with the trivia question, which is a how many. Thoroughly confused?
Completely.
Stay tuned for that.
Thank you.
And also next week's guest, I think you're going to like it, but I'm not going to tell you who it is until the end of the show.
Oh,
I'm excited about it.
Really?
Yeah.
It takes a lot to get Scott excited.
It made me laugh a lot. I think you'll like it. So again, congratulations to Jamie. You got the pair of passes, I should say, for Oakshade Raceway for any race in the 2025 season, assuming it doesn't get rained out. You probably don't want to go to a rained out race because that would suck. So stick around at the end of the show. We'll let you know what next week's question is, and you will have until 3 o'clock Thursday to answer that question.
Right.
Actually, it involves you, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Spoiler alert. If you're planning your dream wedding or special event, make it unforgettable with Magic Moment Entertainment. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report when you book, and you'll get $100 off your reception DJ service. With over 30 years of experience, Ron Burr will make sure your event is perfect. Magic Moment handles everything from contracts to full liability insurance, giving you peace of mind. Plus, no hidden fees, no charges for mileage or dance floor lighting ever. He serves the entire states of Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky. They also specialize in wedding receptions, but also excel in corporate events and mitzvahs.
Both bar and bat.
Yeah. They take pride in working closely with couples and clients to create magical moments tailored just for you. Call 419-594-2261 or find Magic Moment Entertainment on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. Now booking for June and beyond, so don't wait. Make your event extraordinary with Magic Moments Entertainment. And I saw Ron, he's having some issues with his heat. So
Really?
Yeah.
Heat in the
his house. Yeah, I thought I saw a post today or yesterday was
Ooh.
44 degrees in his house.
Ooh, that's bad.
That is, yeah, it's a little chilly there. So hopefully he's getting that fixed there. Ron Miller Race Cars, your one-stop racing headquarters, located in Lambertville, Michigan. Ron Miller Race Cars has everything you need to keep your racing dreams on track. From custom race cars to parts, safety equipment, service, even American Racer tires. It fits for racing. Ron has it, or he can get it. Give him a call today at 734-856-7223 and let Ron help you gear up for victory. Ron Miller Race Cars, fueling racers one lap at a time. Also servicing of transmissions, right?
Yes, sir.
You found mine, right?
I did.
It was still there when you got it? Okay, good. Yeah. Also got to thank Oakshade Raceway, Dominator Race Products, Freeze Frame Photos, Victory Fuel, Ty-Torg Racing Performance Parts, and DCR Graphics, additional sponsors of the show. And how about we bring on our guest? Looks like she's sitting down again. So
she's back.
Yeah, let's remove this, and then we'll bring Chrissy Hendricks. I guess
sooner or later.
Co-promoter. What are we? What's your official? Did you have an official title?
Whatever. No, not really.
No, not really.
You can call me the promoter.
Chrissy Hendricks, whatever.
Chrissy Hendricks, whatever. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So 50 years of Oakshade Racing. How long have you been
in an official capacity?
In an official capacity. Great way of putting that. Thank you, Ron.
I don't know. Probably, since high school at least. Well, junior high, but
that's a long time.
It's getting there.
You're not going to put a year on it, are you, girl?
Not yet. Not yet.
So no approximate 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years?
I've been around it. I've been around the racetrack 45 years.
Okay.
So
Chrissy's 45 years old.
Yep.
So 5
Very much.
years, you missed out on 5 years then of history. Well, 4 years, I guess, because 50 doesn't start till this year.
Correct. Yeah. Yes, I did.
So what is, going back all that way, what is your earliest memory of Oakshade Raceway?
I don't know. There's just so many memories. And it's funny because a lot of it might not even come down to a race night or whatnot. It might have been something that happened during the week or, something that we did because we did grow up there. I mean, you wanted to see mom and dad, when you got older too, you went to the racetrack. I would say, I don't know, the earliest memory, probably picking up trash is the thing I remember, the most from that.
Exciting stuff.
Oh, so exciting. Well, when we got done picking up trash, we got to go swimming in the pond or, depending on, if it was Friday to Saturday, if it was Saturday morning, sometimes, we would run around the racetrack when they were watering and get sprayed. That's a huge memory that I have from my
wet dirt.
Ron's had that happen.
The wet dirt's pretty slippery too, so
It is. But it was
you probably got muddy
that
a couple times.
they let us. Oh yeah, you were covered in mud, but that was something that
When you're a kid, that's cool.
that's right. And actually this summer, my niece and nephew, we were watering, or they were starting the water truck. I'm like, go stand in the water. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, just do it once. And oh my God, they loved it. So
for folks that don't know, most people do, that Oakshade Raceway has been in your family. It's a family-run track. It's been family-run since it started back in 1976. And so, and I didn't have this on your prep sheet there, but do you have any idea, how the track, why your family decided, hey, let's build a racetrack here?
Well, there was, it was my grandma's ground. She actually grew up there. But they went and watched races at Eldora and I don't know, the Butler and all that, and
Probably Millstream.
Brian?
Probably.
Yeah.
They were good friends with Ron and Jane Smelka.
Right.
And Ed Meyer was the other one that was involved with them, but they talked him into building a racetrack, said, let's do it. So
Ron Smelka, in case people don't know, was a very successful sprint car racer in this area.
Yeah. So that's how it came about, and they decided to do it. So that's what they did.
Now, was that farm ground, or was that part of one of the family residences?
Well, there was farm ground. There was a house there, but I do believe that was already torn down before they started building the racetrack. But no, it was farm ground. I just talked to mom and dad about it tonight, and through turns, they pitted in the infield, and so around the turns, where the pits is now at the north end, south end. They farmed all that, and even
race.
one year, I remember my grandpa John planting 30-some rows of corn out there on the north end. So but yeah.
So the late models pit in a cornfield?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
So was it always called Oakshade Raceway, and where did the name Oakshade come from? Just a little town,
little village around the corner.
Yeah, that little town, mom called it. I'm like, town really isn't a town, but like a
few houses,
right? It's I don't know if it's got a municipality or what. You do have to slow down going through it on Central. So, but yeah. And she wasn't 100% sure where the raceway came from, but Oakshade definitely came from that. And they went with Raceway. And yes, it has always been the same name.
Okay. So,
and back then everything was a raceway or a speedway or yeah.
and
Yeah.
Toledo, then there are still speedways and
Yes.
raceways.
Yes.
So I'm assuming it was Saturday nights when they started, right?
No, Friday night.
Okay. See, I did not know that.
It was a Friday night track because Saturday night, Eldora, Fremont were running, so they built this to run Friday nights.
And then they expanded to Saturday and ran Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
They did, and I asked my mom. I said, "You know what year? You went to Friday and Saturday night, and how long it went." She said, "Nope, I didn't like it because it was 2 nights, so I tend to forget about it." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
So,
But we talked about why, but they went to started out with just Fridays, and then went into Saturdays, Friday.
If
Friday.
I had to guess, I'd say it was 78 or 79,
oh, that soon?
maybe 80.
I was living in the Bryan area in the early
It was
80s.
probably
And
in the 80s.
yeah, I don't remember it being both.
I moved
My-
back. Go ahead, Chrissy.
My grandfather, my mom's dad, Jim, and my grandma, Donna, they're the ones that initially built it. My grandfather, it was, we raced obviously in June of 76. He passed away in February of 77. So he only got to see the one season. And then in March of 79, she married John. So
John Green, in case anybody.
Green. Yeah. So he and he didn't come on board right away, but it was within 81, 82. And yeah, he was quite an innovator too, if this will work, this won't work, and he wasn't afraid to try anything.
I moved back from New York in 82, and Oakshade was running Friday and Saturday then, so
Okay.
and had been for a while. So
So what was the reason to expand to Saturdays then? I thought it was expanding the other way, but went from Fridays to Fridays and Saturdays. Was that just because there was too many classes, or what was the deal?
Could be I don't know if she said, oh, I know why. Because the year before, when they decided to get, Friday and Saturday, the year before, we only raced 6 races because of weather.
rainouts.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the next year, John said, "Oh, we're gonna run both nights. We're gonna
That
run
won't
Friday
happen
and
again.
Yeah. So, that's how that came about.
So I'm guessing then that next year you ran more than 6 nights.
Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah.
But Chrissy doesn't remember.
No, I don't remember. Not that quick.
Well, I know you weren't around since the mid 70s then with it, but you've been with Oakshade for, as you said, many years. We'll go with what's different. What changes have you seen? I guess in local dirt track racing over the years, from back when you first got involved to how things are now.
Well, and I can go back because I talked to Mom or whatever, got her take on this. I did do some homework, but she said the biggest thing that she's seen too from then till now is that you can't just go and put a car together, put a roll cage in it, do a few things and go racing. It just doesn't happen. I mean, I don't even know if it happens in the compacts as much, but and I would say too, that's a big thing on that too, that I have seen even from
When I first started, again, 82, 83, most of the cars were home-built cars.
Stock cars?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
There might have been a stray master build or a Rayburn or something, but, it would likely have been a Howe pavement car that somebody decided to race on dirt. It wasn't anything like it is today.
When did the late models start?
You know, again, I was asking Mom. Mom says, I don't keep track of that. I didn't keep track. So, not 100% sure. The first track champion that's listed is 1988. Granted, I do believe we ran some before, but I don't think we ran many super late model races. I would say it was probably about in that era, in that time period. What do you think, Ron?
I'm thinking the limited lates were on Friday, the late models were on Saturday, and my guess would be 86 or 87.
Were they still the wedge late models at that time?
But, I was pretty close to Bob Memmer at that time, and Bob
UMP
said,
Bob.
From
UMP
dirt car now. He said, Ronnie, I don't know what the hell is going on there, but I want to be part of it. Because at that
talking
time,
about Oakshade?
Yes. Okay. At that time, they were running the 6-cylinders, late models, and the modifieds together. And it was really a very interesting show, but the two cars were so diverse.
So is it kind of like the stocks and the trucks, the predecessor of it?
Yeah, sort of. You've seen pictures of the Butler modifieds, the upright modifieds, and
I remember that.
And the 6-cylinder late models were just
Jim Slade, I believe.
Yeah, inline 6-cylinder late models, and that was a class that raced some at Fremont. So
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So
and they ran Friday nights.
Gotcha. Other than
Fremont did.
What's that?
Fremont did.
No. I'm sorry. The 6-cylinders and the modifieds raced on Fridays, and then it was kind of the late models and street stocks.
Then we went to that semi-late. So then it was the semi-lates on Friday.
Yep.
And the supers on Saturday.
Yeah, and back then I ran both nights with the semi-late, and actually did better on Saturday against the lates than I did against the semis. I don't know.
So
it's just weird.
Over the years, and other than COVID or abnormal weather conditions, has there been any times that Oakshade Raceway didn't host any events for an extended period of time? Even COVID, it wasn't that long. It was only a couple weeks, but
right. It was only what, 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't even that big a deal. But
and then it was no fans though for
that was weird.
A couple weeks. Yeah, that was definitely. I don't think I would ever do that again. I mean, that was different. That was not.
You tell the government to kiss your backside and race anyway.
It's just something that was no fun at all. No,
but I mean, Oakshade's run continuously since 1976, I guess.
Correct. Yes, we have.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And actually, John has a question here. I know there's been some rumblings about this off and on. Any word on a Oakshade Raceway Hall of Fame? Any talk about that?
Not yet.
No. No, I haven't discussed anything on like that or whatnot. Not saying it's not something that we wouldn't, be interested in discussing or having or whatnot. So
I think Ron just wants to be inducted in that. How many Hall of Fames are you part of now?
I don't know, a couple, 3, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, you do have how many track championships here?
Nope. We're not going to talk about that.
Me?
We're not talking about that.
Never mind.
Never
mind. We're not talking about that.
Back to other things here. What happened with the sprint cars? Did Oakshade run sprints continuously from 76 to pretty much when I started? The second year, I think it was 2001. They ran for a few weeks,
couple shows,
and then that was the last we saw of a regular
when year
sprint car show. 2001, I believe.
2001?
I started. 2000 was my first year out there.
2000 was your first year. We ran
maybe it was was it okay? I wasn't sure if it was the first.
Whatever. Mike Linder was the last sprint car champion that we had there. I'll tell you that part. But and that was 2000. And that was 360s. We ran the 360s then. Mom and Dad and I just talked about this, and I still don't remember this, but I'm gonna say okay. Said we had a 410 show, paid $3,000 to win, and there was only 410s that showed up.
Ouch.
Yeah, and John said, "That's it. I'm done. Not running them no more." But I know, like in the year 2000, they had the car count had went down tremendously with the sprint cars. Granted, they were the 360s, but they were competitive 360s, but they got to it where they could just go and run with 410s.
Right.
So they would go to Fremont and, 410s, they paid more money and all that. So, they just weren't paying their way.
And you had gone to just Saturday nights by then, and Butler had sprint cars, and Fremont had sprint
and that was
cars.
probably back when we had so many bombers, as they were known back then, where we had the
like
D main and E main, and I remember 2:30 was a normal time for me to get home back in those days.
Oh yeah, it's like nothing. And even when we ran Friday and Saturdays, and I don't know, which year, but we would run sprint cars on Friday night, and then the super late models on Saturday. So we did that for years too. And I want to say, I'm pretty sure the last year that we went to Saturdays only, which same thing, Friday nights had just dropped off tremendously people wise and all that. And it's a lot, two nights, a week, week in and week out. But I want to say that was 95 when we went to just Saturdays.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but 95 or 94 we were Oakshade Friday, Saturday, and then Brian on Sunday.
Yeah.
Then Brian closed. Now you have nothing.
Yeah.
And
we loved it.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing and I told Mom, or I told Scott about later, maybe, I don't know.
Somebody.
Mom had scored at Brian. I don't know if you knew that, Ron.
I did.
Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't just 2 nights, it was 3 nights. Granted, it was different. She was just scoring, but yeah.
I could never picture her doing that now.
Now?
So 3 nights of racing? No, that wouldn't happen.
No, she was the one that nixed the Summer Nationals for 2 nights.
Yeah, she was
Friday,
the main
Saturday?
one, yeah.
Who are some of the most notable drivers to have ever raced at Oakshade over the years?
Well, there's so many that I don't want to just, I don't want to forget anyone. If I do, I apologize. But going back, I don't know, Matt Miller definitely, with he's done a lot or whatnot. Dave Marco.
See, I remember Dave Marco
Right.
and his wedge late model.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does anybody remember Larry Yannis?
Oh
yeah. I remember him too.
And you had and Shane Yoder, Justin Paxton,
KP.
Chris Patterson.
Yeah.
Sprint car drivers, another one, Bob Miller, ran the semi late and late model, and through that. But and like I said, I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but some sprint car drivers, you had Rick Ferkel, the Keegans, Linders, Ron Smelka, Tim Allison, John Hawk, which John Hawk's one of my favorite 360 drivers. Kyle Slaughter was another one. And Brad Miller. Brad Miller that helps Dusty.
Right.
Yeah. I do believe Brad is the one that actually turned the first laps on the racetrack after it was built.
Ever. Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
On a practice night or something.
Yeah. Hey, we got it ready, we're ready to go. Bring your car over because, they were good friends, or they were friends, and his brother had dug a couple ponds and stuff like that too for the family. So
some other names that have kind of popped up, at least since I've been there. some of the bigger names that, not regular racers, but, Matt Crafton's there a lot for the Summer Nationals in his modified. Kenny Schrader showed up one night. I think he was running the late model that night. I don't remember if he made the show, though.
He did. He spun out in front of the field on the going into turn 2.
Kenny Wallace was there. I remember that was the first time I talked to him. He won the UMP Summer Nationals, and Brian Ruhlman had won that race, right. So I got to talk to both of them. Who else has been there?
Raina says Tully Esterline and Aaron Call.
Aaron Call?
Oh, yeah. Kyle saw. I don't know if I...
And Grayling Call.
Kyle, but, there's the Call boy Grayling, too. And, of course, your recent ones that are still racing, Rusty, Devin, Noonan, all that, and like I said, the list goes on and on and on. Yeah. But
Justin Brown,
I remember him.
Justin Brown, Shorty.
Yeah, I remember Justin.
He just put his hand up, said, "Hey, don't forget me."
Oh yeah, me. I see that now.
That's right. I would never forget you, Justin.
All right, I saw a question here in the comments. This isn't one that was on our list, but
okay.
I don't know. You may know this. Do you know what the biggest bomber count ever was at Oakshade?
Oh my gosh. No, I do not. But
I do remember there was enough for an E-main at least one night. I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Fondly?
Do what?
I said, do you fondly remember that?
Oh, yeah. I do.
Okay.
I remember being there until 2:00 in the morning or whatnot. And, when we had, I don't remember so much when we sold beer, but my mom and dad have told lots of stories when they, with the Ennis's and their crew, staying up till the wee hours of the morning. They were all drinking beer, and they like to drink beer. I don't know for sure. I want to say
it's been over 100, hasn't it?
It's definitely been over. It's definitely been over 125. I do believe.
Right.
Yeah, I would say it's probably the 130. I would say probably in the 130.
I'm sure I remember an F main, Scott.
There could have been.
I do believe so. And, that's something that I should have, Larry Jewett might have known. I don't know.
Larry.
He's got a good memory on that stuff too. So, but
producer Dave too. He could have an idea. Yeah.
Speaking of late nights, do you remember that one Summer Nationals night where it rained? Some of the bigger guys pulled out because we were running the track in. I know Buckeye Cable was there that was before Dirt Vision. BCSN, yeah, was going to broadcast it. And
I'm pretty sure it was only 3 of them that pulled out. It was
it was just a couple, yeah.
Shepard, Herb, and I do believe Marlar.
Okay. Well, anyways, we started the show at about 11 o'clock, and then it was like one of the one of the best feature races. 60. I don't even remember how many laps we went back.
Who won it?
Was it Jeep?
It sure was.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, Jeep Van Warmer.
When they had their meeting and all the late model guys were complaining, oh my God, they're never going to get it ran in, whatever. And Chief says, you guys don't know what you're missing. It's going to be the best race that we've had here. And nope. Well, he says, let them go home. I'll win. But, because we asked the bombers at that time, came down to it where it said, look, it's going to be this late. Cause I think it was 3:30. 4:00 when we were done with them.
I remember getting home at like 4:40 or something like that morning.
Do you want to, postpone it till next weekend, run your futures next weekend? And the majority of them are like, no, we're here. Let's get it over with. Okay. When I walked to my car, the sun was up and all of that. So the birds were chirping.
Another member of the Henricks family said, don't forget Hillard Miller.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yes. Hillard and, years. Well, what about Glenn Bradley?
Sure.
That one, he was always fun to watch. Who else? Oh, there's just been so many.
Any idea what driver has the most wins ever at Oakshade in any class?
We were talking about it. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Scott or Ron, do you have an idea?
If I had to guess, I'd say Bob Miller. He was pretty stout back in the day, and
Rusty's got to be in there too, I would think.
I would say more than likely it's got to be between Rusty and Patterson.
Okay.
With Rusty, Rusty was back in 1998. He was the Bomber Rookie of the Year. He has been running here since 1998.
He was in a truck at that time, wasn't he?
Yes, and I'm pretty sure he ran it. Well, I don't know. Did he run the truck with the Bombers?
Yes.
Or did the truck run with the Sportsmen? Because then he was...
That was before me. I remember when I started, the trucks and Sportsmen were one class, but...
Because he was Rookie of the Year then in the Sportsman in 99.
I built that truck and I can't remember. See?
Yeah. So... but I mean, between... I don't think he got any wins in the Bomber division, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I know he got his first late model win came here, and that was when he was 16. That was July of whatever year that he was 16. He got his first late model feature win. And then he ran that Sportsman for John Bailey, and he won the championship. He won the championship in 06, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
He won it in both. He won it in the Sportsman and the late model. So he's definitely got quite a few wins. He had asked me last year, I believe, or the year before maybe, if I had any idea how many. And I said, no. And I had started to go through some, the program, computer program that we had used, Circle Track Manager, which is dating way back. That there's no way to get into that. So not 100% sure. But Mom says, I think I can go back to other papers. I'm like, really? You saved other papers from
Does she have all her score sheets?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh boy.
That's a lot of paper.
It is. She's like, well, I think them years are stored here. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, Mother, what is the point? Well, until you write it down. Okay. All right. Get to work.
Need to get somebody to scan all those, digitize them, put them in a computer.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a lot.
Let's talk about the Barney Oldfield race. When did that start? How did that start? I know Barney Oldfield from the Wauseon area.
Yeah, it started out too that the town of Wauseon wanted to do something, and they were doing something. I don't know if it started out at the fairgrounds, and it just they build on it. It was like Oldfield Days or something. They had a weekend or something on that, and decided to why don't you do this race or whatnot? And it's just basically stuck since then. I mean, this is our what? How many of them have we ran? 2020. 2025 will be our 36th annual Barney.
So about 35 of them we've run.
Oh, yeah, about 35. Because
if there, yeah,
there's one every year. We did not. We ran one in the daylight. I do remember we ran a makeup. I don't know if you remember that. 1990 was the first year that we ran Barney, and DeLong won that, and then I do believe DeLong won again in 2000, 99 or 2000. But and that wasn't because of a rain delay. I don't know if you remember that. That was the night that Transformer blew.
I remember that night.
I do.
Right before the late models. So we had to run that. But
Your mother says she doesn't have them all.
Oh,
Darn.
ask her how close to all is their mother.
yeah. So you mentioned when things first started out, the pits were in the infield. Where the pits are now was cornfield. So the track's been reconfigured a bit over the years. Used to have walls around the corners. Did it have walls when it first started?
It had a wall in 3 and 4, or 1 and 2. There was never a wall in 3 and 4. I don't believe. I can't remember.
I never saw one.
So how many times has it been reconfigured?
We just talked about that too, but they took down. Well, the wall fell down 1 and 2, so they eventually took it out. But there was a wall in the backstretch, and yes, they took that out because he widened the racetrack because he wanted to. The backstretch was never that wide.
It's really wide now.
Yeah, they widened. Mom said he widened it quite a bit too, because it was a lot flatter too. And
that was the banking in 1 and 2 was really the demise of the wall, because the wall wound up being only like a foot and a half, maybe 2 feet tall, because the
dirt
banking
just built up around it.
Yeah, it just kept adding banking to the point where it was no challenge at all to get over the wall.
Yeah, and there was no fence. There was no fence on it in 1 and 2 ever.
Right.
So
Correct.
did a lot of cars go over the wall then?
Oh, a few.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got pictures of sprint cars out in the field there, when it was a field.
More cornfield.
Cornfield. So it was that, and then with the backstretch, because they did that, and he added banking. He added banking in the turns then too, but that was on moving walls and stuff like that. We did put in a steel wall, but that was just, it went right in front of the existing wall. It did go. He lost a little bit in a couple areas, but if anyone remembers the cement block wall, that was pretty jagged, and
that could eat up a race car.
I do have one, and someone today, they would have made a meme out of it and said, this is what happens when you put your race car through Todd Nuding in the backstretch wall. And they were up on the wall, and I think it was Steve Casebolt. So, but like I said, today they would have made a meme out of that, But yeah. So it just
some of the wild. What are some of the wildest moments you remember at Oakshade? There's a couple that I remember. One involved, and I always give Rusty a little bit of crap about it because he was still young in the late models when he slid into Todd Nuding. I think he was trying to do a slide job, didn't quite clear him, and Nuding went flying in turn 4 and pretty much
turn 3, 4,
and didn't race much after that. And then there was another time at the start of late model feature. I think it was Larry Kingseed, senior, not junior. Started on the pole, somehow he got sideways and ended up flipping down the front stretch, hit the flag stand, and took down the fence just past it.
Took down part of the fence, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was probably his third time he had been there, second or third time he'd been there, and he got upside down every time.
Oh.
So the next time he came back, I'm like, you're not going to get upside down tonight, are you? I hope not. I hope I don't ever do that again. That one was pretty, you didn't know which.
No, that was just a twisted mess. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, picture. And it's like, okay, is that the top of it or the bottom? I'm like, I don't know. And it was a little difficult. But that, there was that, and oh heck, there's been all kinds of oh yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know about that. I have a picture of my dad sitting in the car halfway through the wall.
Yeah, and that would have been there on because I have a picture of it's my grandpa and Randy and someone else. They're standing up there looking, and it's like, okay, what are we gonna do? Because there was part of the wall was, they knocked it down, and I think he piled dirt up there for a while. He had dirt piled up through there. So because I think, well, I don't know if we were. No, we were. I think we're sprint cars pitting there off of turn off the south end at that time. Then when the wall came down completely.
I think so.
As before,
Yeah, because when I lined up sprint cars when I was in high school, and that they chose to pit at the south end. So, but
another crazy moment, Roscoe Stetton when his
yes, that one
throttle stuck going down the backstretch.
that one was scary, and that was I mean, Roscoe, that
There's videos to document that one.
And pictures.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I seen Deb's video that she had. There's been other things. I mean, so many. Here's one I can remember good, and I don't know if it's a good memory, but it is because it's a memory. It's a memory of my grandpa John. But he wasn't too happy one night with I do believe it was Dennis Partridge, and they were on the front stretch. And Dennis was out of the car, and John just wanted him to hook it. Well, he wanted to talk. Well, he chased him around the car. I mean, and Dennis always kept a car length distance between them, so John wasn't too happy with them. But and there's just been so many, the amount of people that have met, the relationship, it's unbelievable. So it's a
Patty Bin said something about Roy Sheets in the backstretch.
I don't know about that. He's another one I forgot about. What was his number? 11?
Ron and I look at each other.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
Patty Bin. Was that a number 11?
Yeah. I don't remember that. What happened?
I don't know.
We'll see if she tells us. In the meantime, we're talking all kinds of memories. Is there a favorite memory that you do have?
To pinpoint a favorite memory that's like really, really difficult. But again, one of my favorite things is just the amount of time spent with family. And when I say family, I'm talking extended family. My cousins and all that. But my favorite racing memory? Man, like I said, there's just you know what my dad answered? He said all of them. Whether they're a good, bad, indifferent memory, it's still a memory, and they were memories made. And I don't know. You got a favorite memory?
I didn't prepare for that, so I can't tell you.
What about you, Ron?
Probably that Summer National race is probably my favorite. That one that went all night long.
Larry Jewett was announcing, and it was back in the semi-late days. I got tangled up first lap of the feature, and I pulled up. Back then, we could stop on the track, and the crew could come out and pull sheet metal away. And I was sitting there in my Dodge Daytona, watching these guys rip the body off the car. And we have a video. Bobby Schroyer, Roddy's ex-wife, had a video. And you could hear Larry Jewett saying, "Oh, what a shame, Ron Miller's out of this one." And I started from the tail and came back up through and won it. It was a night that the Mortons sponsored the race, and I've still got a picture of the car sitting in victory lane with maybe a third of the body on it. It was was a really special night. Yeah, there was quite a few features that we won, but that one was pretty cool.
I want to change my answer. Raina did bring up winning the A-Main. That was a pretty good one, but actually, I would say, remember when we did the celebrity charity races back in the aughts? I think it was like 2008 or 2009. The second to last one.
Right.
Where I picked up my very first win ever when Norm Van Ness was leading. He was the old weather guy from Channel 24. I think he lost a drive shaft or something and turns 3 and 4 on the white flag lap. Dan Rice, Lynx, was running second. Didn't realize that he was slowing down so fast. Slid sideways and hit him with the side of his car. I was racing with, was it the mayor of Wasion, I think it was? I was trying to pass him for third. I get by him. And then I see Link sideways. I see Norm going real slow. I thought the caution came out, and then I see Dan on the flag stand waving the checkered flag. So I just nailed it running Jim Scout's car and was like, I just won a race. This is awesome.
I was announcing.
Yeah.
Those were fun. Those were fun nights too, Chrissy.
Oh yeah. Most definite.
What about the latrine race? The outhouse race, whatever we called it.
The what?
The outhouse race.
We had to practice during the week before, we had to make sure that this would all work, but that was something different. Yeah, that was
that was fun.
Totally different. And
didn't Steve Kester end up winning that?
Yeah, Kester won.
I think he got hurt too, didn't he?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. Well, I think he did something, but
yeah. They needed a pit crew to work on those, I think.
Yeah, good times.
Right?
Absolutely. So, looking to the future, where do you see Oakshade Raceway 50 years from now?
50 years from now, I don't know if I'll even be here 50 years from now. That's really pushing it. That'd be 95. But
hey, Grandma can do it.
Well, she's not quite that old. she's still in her 80s, Ron. I hope that there's some type of racing going on in 50 years. I hope that, my nieces and nephews and, that it's something that is still there for them to,
And I pray that they're not electric cars. They need to make noise.
They do, and yeah, the noise. And
what about flying cars?
That'd be cool.
Maybe we'll have those.
Yeah.
Don't you remember the TV show The Jetsons?
Yeah.
We should have flying cars by now, shouldn't we, Scott?
Probably.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of the DeLorean, but
how long ago was that? Long time.
60s.
But what?
I think it was in the 60s, wasn't it? 70s?
The Jetsons?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was old when I was a kid.
You run.
Producer Dave, when was the Jetsons on TV?
There you go. Yeah. Larry Scott. I remember watching Larry Scott race.
Oh yeah, he's another one. You know, like I said, there's so many. Larry Scott. Tim Fisher was a great, regional or local and racer and just everyone. I mean, there's so many. Like I said, you don't want to forget anyone or whatnot. Just definitely do. But I wanted to tell you, I had asked Mom about her favorite memory. And she said her favorite memory was building it. She ran the dozer and she ran the dozer on the push dirt on the backstretch, and I think I can't remember which turn she said, but she remembers doing that, and how it changed from a field into.
And that was so that was before Oakshade was really Oakshade.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
The family was involved in building it. My uncles, Jimmy and Ron.
They were in the excavator or are in the excavating business. Correct. Yes, they've always
ran heavy machinery and done that, and it was.
Didn't your mom wreck or something?
I do believe that was at Bryan Motor Speedway.
Oh, okay. I just remember her saying something, and that's why she never gets in a race car again or something.
I think they had a powder puff, and I do believe it was Uncle Ron. My Uncle Ron raced. I think it was in the Roadrunner classes. Actually, I have a couple pictures of him with some pretty decent sized trophy. But yeah, and I think it was his car. She drove it over there, and she'd have to tell you it was someone's wife or she said it was their fault. But yeah.
Have you been in a race car?
I've sat in one. Have I went around? I went around with it, but nothing to race. No, and I have absolutely no desire to do that.
Okay.
How many laps in a water truck, Chrissy?
I've done a few. I'll be honest. I didn't do a whole lot on the watering part, but I have done that. Running the racetrack in is my absolutely. I hate that. It's boring. You just go round and round and round. I can remember, Dad. We rained out on Saturday, and they wanted to have practice on Sunday, and quite a few people had called, and he said, "I think we can run the track in if there's a couple of us." Mom's like, "Okay, you have to come over and you have to help." Okay, and my sister Katie was helping too, and Katie was probably, I don't know, I don't think she was in high school yet. Maybe 8th grade freshman. And yeah, just me and Mom are going around, and Dad are going around, and here's Katie. She's just flying around there, and she about every 6 laps she'd pass us. And I'm like, "Mom, I can't keep up with her. I'm not keeping her." She said, "Just let her go. Let her do her thing." And she'd be like, but yeah, she drove a lot. She ran the track in for a couple years for Dad, and she liked doing it. So, and I will say Katie's a good driver, especially in the snow. So, yeah. But yeah, my least favorite thing. But I drive around. I drive around it usually every day on the Gator or the golf cart. That's good.
Okay. You enjoy your role running the pits.
I do enjoy it. I do.
Is there anybody you dislike? Any drivers you dislike? You don't have to name any names.
Well, not going to say you dislike them. There's some
more difficult than others
that are more difficult to deal with. And don't get me wrong, I know I can be difficult too. And I always when someone comes and says, they're like, you're not as mean as everyone says you are. I said, listen, I try not to be mean. I want everyone. Jesus, you were right, Scott. It was 1962.
I thought it was the 60s, but yeah, I guess
I didn't realize it was that old. Okay, thank
Jetsons, you. Wow, thanks, producer Dave.
Yeah, but if someone comes at you screaming at you, you're gonna scream back. I mean, it's just. Except there was one night, there was someone that came up just screaming at me, and I'm like, nope, I'm not even gonna say a word. I let him yell, and I didn't say anything because it would have just escalated beyond that. They were upset, and I knew once they calmed down, it would be different, and it was. But
yeah. Has Ron never come yelling at you?
Oh, probably once or twice, but nothing.
No,
Pressy. I mean, no, for the most part, no. And like I said, if you're diplomatic about it, you talk, and I'm not saying I can fix everything either. That's for sure. And some people, no matter what, they're not gonna get along with anyone or whatnot. So it is what it is on that. But no, for the most part, there really isn't. I mean, there may be somebody like, you can talk to them this time or whatnot, but just
okay. Let's talk about this season. This is the 50th season. Schedule's not out yet, so I can't really talk about it. Can you tease anything on the schedule?
Well,
anything special for 50 years?
Any sprint car shows?
we're working on that. You know, we have we did toss around the idea on a sprint car show and whatnot. We're and yes, we are going to do something for 50 years of racing and all that. Just don't know exactly what yet. You know, if anyone has any ideas or anything they'd like to see, you know, shoot us a message, shoot me a message. Anything on that?
I don't know. The Oakshade Million has a nice ring to it.
It does. I just
You sponsored by
No,
Ron Miller
no,
Race
no.
Cars.
there you go. Sponsored by Ron Miller Race Car. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, that's okay. Realistically, Ron. But yeah, no. You know, we've got our Barney. That is June. I don't know, second week in June, I do believe. We scheduled around, you know, a few things on that because usually
June 14th.
sometimes we're a week later on that. Last year it was a little different. But we are, you know, we're starting out with our sportsman super stocks and our compacts. And then the following week we'll have all 4 divisions. We'll have late models. You know, they're looking
Showdown
just,
series later in the year.
yeah, I do believe. You know, I know show me. I think her and Corey have been talking on that. Do you know a date? Have they set a date yet?
I talked to Corey and he's mentioned a date, but I don't know that it's public yet.
I imagine it's probably the end of September.
Toward the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, I would look towards that. You know, talked about
I know
a
there's
few
been
other
talks
things.
about a special event for the sportsmen because we used to do the Twin 25s. Is there going to be anything like that?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be a Twin 25. We talked about after talking to some of them too, they'd like a race with some more laps. So we're talking about that, which, you know, if someone had said, "Oh, what about 50 laps?" I'm like, I don't know about 50. Oh, that's a lot of laps. But yeah, it's nothing, you know, and we've got our birthday race, Summer National Ironman race. So that's in July, like usual. We do have we have our vintage cars. They're actually going to be there 2 nights this year.
Ooh.
So that's kind of exciting. They've got a vintage Thunder. I think I'm probably saying it wrong, but
Those
you
guys
know,
are
and,
fun too. They're pretty serious I remember when they first came out, they were all real gentle and real careful, but in the past few years they've just gotten
Racing.
they're racing out there. They're just racing for pride too, but in those old cars, it's fun to watch.
But yeah, you know, so just late models and sportsmen, super stocks, and compacts. So just gonna do what we know and concentrate on that, and you know, make it a.
Any idea when folks can expect that schedule to come out?
Well, hopefully soon, Scott. Like I said,
I know
we're
people are
racing
asking me. They're asking me, so I figure I'm gonna. And I'm like, I don't know. Ask Chrissy.
Saturday night,
Probably
the end
about
of April.
Probably about the same time Fremont puts theirs out.
Yeah, and they were supposed to do that the
Months ago.
end of December when Corey was in
Yeah.
here. So
Yeah, it's you know, there's a lot to putting a schedule together, and even if it's the same thing that, you know, you do, I mean, just because you don't, you know, there is so many you know, big races or so much other stuff going on and whatnot, and really when you get into September too, you have a lot of bigger races for your late models and stuff like that. So that makes it tough and all that. But yeah, I look for, you know, tossing around some ideas on doing some stuff. And then Mom and Dad were
Can we do a hot dog race?
What?
Can we do a hot dog race?
Didn't you do one last? You didn't do one at all last year.
We didn't do one last year, but I'd like to do one. You know, we need to do one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think we can do one.
All right, I think so too. Your mom can
We'll provide the hot dogs.
Yeah, I think she can afford the hot dogs.
Yeah, we can do that. Yep.
Ooh.
So, but yeah, so hopefully soon. Like I said, we'll blame that on mom being sick with the flu. So, yeah,
We hope she gets better soon.
She's actually she's doing much better.
Will there be any practice before?
There's a whole lot of that crud going around right now.
Oh, it's been horrible. Dad was sick before, and he's actually, it takes him a little longer than her. Well, you know, he is older than her, but yeah. It got him down. Mom rarely gets sick like that. So for her, that was a lot. So she'll probably yell at me for talking about her, but you know, we would always love to do a practice. It just all depends on weather and what we get done and how cold, you know, and how it is on that part, you know, and so yeah, I'd like to. But.
And another thing, I see a couple of comments there about the super stock tires, and I kind of asked you about that, and you said no, this time no changes.
Correct. There will be no tire rule change for 2025. The ones that came to the awards gathering, some of them filled out some things, you know, suggestions and whatnot, and there was a few things on it, but nothing really major on that. But we've kicked around the idea of possible changing that, but for 25, no rules as of right now.
Sportsmen though do have a rule change.
The sportsmen do have a rule change. Yes, they can get rid of their filler panel on the back. So that was one thing. I don't know what you want to call it. I call it a filler panel. Is that what they call it? I
think they have just that little panel on the back. So now it's open like a late model rear end.
Correct.
Can they still run the filler panel?
Well, I don't know why not. I would imagine. I wouldn't say why not, because that's not a performance advantage to running it. I don't believe.
Well, maybe somebody's real lazy and they don't want to bother with taking it out.
Oh, Scott, I'm sure they'll take it out if they
I know. I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chrissy, we appreciate the time.
I think
actually talked a lot longer than I thought we would.
Yeah.
A lot of memories for 50 years of racing, and hopefully a lot more to be coming.
Yes. Hope so. So thank you.
OakshadeRaceway.com or Oakshade Raceway on social media. As soon as that schedule comes out, it'll be posted and shared and spread out among the universe in the internets, the interwebs.
Yeah, hopefully soon. So
cool. Well, Chrissy, we appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to Oakshade Raceway celebrating 50 years this summer.
All right. Thank you. So do we.
All right.
See you there. All right.
See ya.
See you, Chrissy.
See you guys.
There you go. Wow, I made you bigger. You're the only one there. All right. See you, Chrissy.
Bye.
Apparently, I can't double click on that. All right. It's all good. Chrissy Hendricks there from Oakshade Raceway. What was her title? Whatever we wanted to call her.
That's it. Whatever.
Okay. Part of the family that, of course, owns and has run Oakshade Raceway for
50 years.
50 years as of this year. So looking forward to that. Again, season kicks off on April, whatever that last Saturday is. I have that in here. April 26th with the three classes, the DCR Graphic Sportsman, Dominator Superstocks, and the Compacts.
And the late models will join them the following week.
There you go. And then racing every Saturday night, just as it's been since I've been there, at least. Coming up, we'll be giving away some pizza from east of Chicago. For how many? We got the DCR Graphics sticker to give away. Before we move into that, we do have a little bit of action to talk about from last weekend with our racing roundup. which is going to be this.
Racing Roundup.
Got it right there. World of Outlaw Late Model Series in action last weekend, Volusia Speedway Park. The Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals Thursday night, Garrett Albertson picking up the win. Friday night, Devin Moran, Donnie's son. And then Jonathan Davenport winning on Saturday, Ricky Thornton Jr. winning the Big Gator. I think I had that right. Yep. Little points thing there. Perth Motorplex as we go to Australia. Total Tools Rockingham Crikey Boys Shootout on Friday. Callum Williamson winning in the sprint cars. Troy Beckingham, your LS1 sprint car winner. Brendan Marshman, your Western Australia Formula 500 winner. On Saturday at Perth, back in action, Jock Goodyear, sprint car winner. Jamie Oldfield, not to be confused with Barney.
Right.
I wonder if they're related. He was a late model winner.
Beat his brother.
Wouldn't that be cool if he came and won the Barney Oldfield?
Yeah.
He was the late model winner there Saturday.
Now, that race Saturday was a special race because that was the Western Australia title race, and they actually had some interstate travelers come in because they're all Perth is also hosting the national championship race, so it was a really pretty big deal.
Very nice. Also winners on Saturday included Jai McKenzie in the limited sprint cars and Reese Cumming in the Western Australia Formula 500s. ARCA Menard Series had some racing down in Florida this weekend. Yeah. The Ride the Dente 200 at Daytona International Speedway. Saturday's winner, Brendan Butterbean Queen.
That was a pretty cool interview, too.
There was a lot of interesting stuff during that ARCA race. They had Cletus McFarlane up in the booth for the second half after he wrecked out.
And he did a great job.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. Elio Castroneves, he was that was his debut in competition, I guess, other than the duels, if that counts, where he was in a wreck in the duels. He was involved in 3 wrecks in the ARCA race. I don't believe any of them were his doing. He just got caught up in them.
Bad timing.
Yeah.
Did you see the post that I made on that one?
I did not.
Will the last car running please stop at the flag stand and wave the checkered flag?
Gotcha. Well, I guess the team fixed his car and got him back out. He ended up finishing 5th and in that crash at the finish line there. That was his 3rd wreck. NASCAR action. They kicked off their season officially with the Trucks Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. Trucks Fresh from Florida 250 on Friday night at Daytona. It was, we thought it was Parker Kligerman who
but it wasn't.
Won that. He crossed the finish line first, but was disqualified during post-race inspection, handing the win over to Corey Heim. Kligerman's team, I guess the ride height was too low after?
At the rear.
At the rear?
And they claim that they're going to appeal
They did appeal it, and it was announced earlier today, that the appeal was denied.
Aw.
So Corey Heim still your official winner for the truck race on Friday. Saturday at Daytona, the Xfinity Series running after the ARCA race there. The United Rentals 300, that was won by Jesse Love. And then, of course, the Blue-Green Vacations Duels last week, I guess because we were on the air then, so we'll cover the winners there. Bubba Wallace winning the first of the duels and Austrian Cindric winning the second one. And then the Daytona 500 Sunday, that was an all-day race. That was like an enduro.
Yeah. Well,
they moved up the start time to 1:30.
No fault of the racers with that one.
No, that was all rain at ill-timed weather, I guess you could say. They got a few laps in when they started.
And they thought it was going to be just a real quick sprinkle and wound up being a whole lot more.
A little bit more than that, yeah. They finally finished things up, though, Sunday night. William Byron won his second Daytona 500 in a row. Ryan Preece had an interesting wreck there toward the end. I got some video of that. You saw that, I'm sure.
I did.
All right, well.
Special interest in that car.
You did?
The 60 car that Ryan Preece drives is, the car chief is Jerry Cook.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he was the car chief on that.
Yep.
That's a Roush car, isn't it?
Roush Fenway.
RFK?
Keselowski, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's what happened to him, and they even made comments that they've never seen a wreck like this. And
never saw a car do that.
It was kind of weird. We'll watch this in slow. So what? Christopher Bell getting a bump from behind there. toward the front, bounces off the wall, comes back, catches the right front. And you see the damage under the right front there? I think that might have been why the air kind of got up on there and lifted the nose up and flipped it over backwards.
Yeah, I don't know what made the front end go up, but obviously that
was going over the wheel, I
flat
think.
bottom acted like a wing, and up it went.
Yeah, and then he had a couple hard hits there.
Then he started tumbling.
Hard hit into the wall, and then down the banking there in turn 3. So pretty crazy. And then he just had a wreck. Was it last year, his wild ride?
I think it was 2 years.
2 years ago? Okay.
Another wild.
He's not a fan of Daytona. He's like the Larry King seat of Daytona.
Yeah.
Always flipping. So, he was not pleased in his interview. So, and we do have a Hammer Down hotline.
But they did get rid of all that grass.
They did, yeah.
But so now they can slide on the pavement instead of hitting the
digging
grass
in and
going
flipping,
tumbling some more.
So, anyways, William Byron, though, winning that race. So, congratulations to him.
And NASCAR let them race back to the checker.
They did. That was weird. I thought that was.
I appreciate
that wasn't the wreck that on the final lap. There was it a green white checkered? I don't remember now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was a green white checkered. They'd already taken the white flag, and there was a wreck
in 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Okay, yeah, and they let them race back, which was weird.
Well, because the crash was in turn 4
behind them.
and
Yeah.
by the time they got back there, they should have been able to slow down.
Fair enough.
I hate just race the checkered flag ending the race.
The yellow flag?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how they have the little light now on the screen so you know when it comes on.
Right.
You can see who's in the lead there. So, but like you said, we didn't need to see that for the end of the 500. DCR Graphics is your source for high-quality wraps, stickers, die-cast, banners, and more. If you're looking to upgrade your race team's look, DCR Graphics has you covered. They have full wraps starting at just $425 plus shipping. If you want to showcase your car in miniature form, I was just talking to Dale the other day. He said he's got all kinds of boxes of the die-cast cars. Yeah, you can get a box of 8 of those custom die-cast cars for only $130 plus shipping. I think it's like one of those we have up there in the monitor. Here. It's like
right in the middle of the screen.
There. Not that the 2 car, but the other one, the 35. I got your side sticking out there.
Yay.
Where was I? $130 for a box of 8 of those guys. It's not too bad. Available for late models, sprints, and modifieds. And I guess there's possibly some other car kinds too. I'm not sure he's ready to do those, but for now it's late models, sprints, and modifieds. And now DCR has even more ways to show off your style. You can check out their brand new lineup of crew shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, flags, and more. Hit up DCR Graphics on Facebook or call them at 419-308-9523 to place your order today. DCR Graphics, where speed meets style. I was going to mention Victory Fuel, the ultimate flavored electrolyte water to power your day. Packed with a full load of electrolytes, 120% of your daily vitamins, and absolutely no artificial coloring, caffeine, or carbonation, just pure refreshing hydration. It's no wonder Victory Fuel is the top choice for teams on race day, helping them stay at peak performance when it matters most. Ready to stock up? Contact your local sales representative, Tanya Conley, for track concessions and business wholesale inquiries at Tanya@drinkvictory.com or order online at drinkvictory.com. Don't forget to use discount code Conley Racing at checkout for exclusive savings. Victory Fuel, because champions deserve the best. Yeah.
And then what?
I got some more commercials. Should we
Okay.
just bust those out before we get to the racing news here? Are you a racer or fan looking to capture every thrilling moment on the track? Look no further than Freeze Frame Photos, your go-to for all your racing photo needs. Whether it's heart-pounding action shots or those unforgettable victory lane moments, Freeze Frame Photos has you covered. But that's not all. They also offer a fantastic range of custom gifts to commemorate your favorite races, including print magnets, canned koozies, tumblers, wood plaques, custom slate photos, wind spinners, and buttons, just to name a few. If you want to add a personal touch, that's not a problem. Freeze Frame Photos can customize any photo or gift item with your own text and graphics, making each piece uniquely yours. Call Charlie today at 419-407-6994 and let Freeze Frame Photos turn your favorite memories into timeless treasures. Freeze Frame Photos, special moments frozen in time. And we'll save that one for a little bit later.
And they will be back as the official track photographer of Oakshade Raceway.
For the 50 years, yeah. There you go. And we do have a little bit of racing news to cover here. Okay, I didn't mess that up.
Latest racing news.
Yeah, I found my cheat sheet, so I know where they're at now. International recording star Pitbull and Trackhouse Racing have ended their relationship effective, immediately last weekend. Pitbull and Trackhouse Racing representatives announced the news on social media. Actually, it was last Friday. Pitbull partnered with Justin Marks to create Trackhouse Racing in 2021, and the team began competing in NASCAR Cup Series the following season. I haven't heard why.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Probably never will.
Probably not. The Buckeye Figure 8 Nationals, held at Painesville Speedway, was voted the Auto Racing Promoter of the Year Outstanding Event for 2024. And that was at the 52nd Annual Racing Promotions Monthly Daytona Workshops. Randy Maggio Jr., the promoter at Painesville Speedway, said it's a huge honor for the Buckeye Figure 8 Nationals to be the Auto Racing Promoter of the Year Outstanding Event for 2024. That is a lot of words to put on a trophy or something.
Yeah.
But the Buckeye Figure 8 Nationals will return to Painesville Speedway on Friday and Saturday, May 16th and 17th, as the event now becomes a 2-day show. I know some of the guys from Flat Rock go out there for that. The second annual High Limit International event at Perth Motorplex will be held on December 28th and 30th of this year amid the summer break down under. That's next summer for our friends in Australia.
No, you said 28th and 30th?
28th through the 30th.
Through
I'm
the
sorry.
30th.
28th
okay.
through the 30th. The event will fall on a Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday morning here in America. Preliminary payouts have been bumped up to $15,000 to win and a new record $110,000 to win finale. I'm assuming that's American money and not Australian money.
I don't know.
And I don't know if Australian money is worth more than American dollars. Is it less? So is it like Canadian?
Yeah, about 62%.
It's probably American then. But that's for the finale of that. Only
American would be paid a whole lot more. Gotcha. Yeah, it's about the same as Canada.
Not only did the 2024 High Limit payouts, not only did the 2024 High Limit International boast the highest payout in Australian Speedway history, but it also produced the largest attendance in the 25-year history of Perth Motorplex.
And the Aussies ran very well at that race.
I bet. Last Thursday, NASCAR found a couple violations during an inspection ahead of the dual races. They elected to eject 2 NASCAR Cup Series crew members. As a result, the number 34 car fielded by Front Row Motorsports and driven by Todd Gilliland lost crew chief Chris Lawson for the weekend. The number 51 Rick Ware Racing machine, driven by Cody Ware, saw crew chief Billy Plord ejected. Rick Ware Racing and Front Row Motorsports FRM both have an alliance with RFK. That's a lot of Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. In both cases, this violation was for improper weight. It sounds like they were taking critical hydration systems for the driver and putting ballast in them.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. More penalties. Daytona 500 pole winner Chase Briscoe was dealt a major penalty yesterday when NASCAR said Joe Gibbs Racing had a modified spoiler on the number 19 Toyota in time trials. Joe Gibbs Racing has been docked 100 driver owner points and 10 playoff points. The spoiler base is a single source part that cannot be modified. JGR also was fined $100,000, and crew chief James Small was suspended for 4 races. According to Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports, JGR will appeal the penalty to the team. They say the issue in question was caused in the assembly process when bolts used to attach the spoiler base to the deck lid cause the pre-drilled holes to wear due to supplied part interferences. What does that mean in layman's terms?
Not a clue.
Okay. Well, that's their argument. I guess they're appealing with. That is your racing news. Just around the corner, we're going to do how many? Give away a large one-item East of Chicago pizza, East of Chicago in Clyde. Also, hashtag DCR if you haven't put that in the comments for a chance to win the sticker. And then we'll have our Oakshade trivia question coming up here. But first, if you're looking to conquer the dirt track, Titanic Racing Performance Parts is your one-stop shop. They are your dirt oval authority, carrying all the top brands in racing parts and equipment from Hoosier Tires to all the latest in chassis and engine components. They've got you covered. If you need expert advice, their knowledgeable staff is ready to help you find the right parts for your race car and your budget. Call Titanic Racing Performance Parts at 740-391-9990 or 419-307-2231. Or visit TitorgRacing.com. Titanic Racing Performance Parts, your dirt oval authority. Elevate your racing performance with Dominator Race Products, the premier choice for high-quality, durable race car components. From innovative nose pieces and balances to robust fenders and spoilers, their products are engineered to enhance your vehicle's aerodynamics and durability on the track. Trusted by racers nationwide, Dominator Race Products delivers the reliability and performance you need to dominate the competition. Visit Dominator Race Products today to explore, DominatorRaceProducts.com today to explore their extensive range of products and take your racing to the next level. And finally, get ready, race fans. The 2025 Oakshade Raceway season kicks off Saturday, April 26th with DCR Graphic Sportsman, Dominator Superstocks, and Compacts. Saturday, May 3rd will feature a full show with those three classes at the addition of the late models. Barney Oldfield Race is set for Saturday, June 14th. Make sure to mark your calendars for one of the most electrifying nights of the year. That's the annual birthday race featuring the UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals. Also a co-sanctioned event with the American Late Model Ironman Series on Saturday, July 12th. Stay in the loop with all the high-octane action. Visit OakshadeRaceway.com and follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest updates. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest beat to race. All right, done with all the bills. Had to get caught up there. We got behind with Chrissy there. Apologies. We do have one Hammer Down hotline text to talk about this week real quick. So we'll pop that on there. Well, before we do that, 419-318-3081. That is the Hammer Down hotline number. Call or text anytime, day or night, whatever's on your mind about racing.
You want to talk, you can talk. You want to type, you can type.
A lot of people decide to type. I don't think they like being played back on the show. So this was a text we got here. Well, this message is about this past Sunday's fiasco, what NASCAR calls auto racing. This past whole weekend was just a total disaster for them. I would venture to guess they destroyed $40 million worth of race cars. I hope NASCAR is proud of that figure. If anyone really believes that is racing, they are not a race fan. If you like that, you need to go to county fairs and watch demolition derbies. Dale Earnhardt is probably rolling over in his grave. I don't know what everybody else thinks of this Barnum Bailey circus act, but I don't like it. Something needs to change before someone really gets hurt very bad.
Scott,
thoughts?
There wasn't the real big one until the last lap, and it's Daytona. Everybody wants to win, and the last lap there is invariably some sort of an incident.
I enjoy it because you never know what's going to happen.
Right. Most of the race was pretty boring because they were.
I did take a nap during part of
like
the
a
500.
3-wide parking lot.
Yeah.
I was stunned that they could run lap after lap after lap, 3 wide.
Remember when they had I think they called it a wicker bill across the top where it punched a big hole in the air? And the cars could get runs and there was lots of passing. I don't know. I like that. I wish they would bring that back, but.
Yeah, I didn't understand. For a while they'd line up on the outside, and the outside would be fast. Then
I think it was just whoever. It was like a popularity contest. Whoever had the most
maybe if it
people
was a Ford at the front of the line, they'd be fast. And the Fords were fast.
Yeah, weird. I mean, yeah. And it's easy to complain about things, but I mean, what is the answer? I mean,
It's
what can NASCAR do? They're kind
it's
of damn.
Daytona.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's the pack racing thing, and
No,
I don't see that going
the
away.
ARCA race, I noticed that those cars were twitchy, really, really bad. And ARCA needs to do something to stabilize those cars, because the difference between the ARCA cars, the trucks, the Xfinity cars, and Cup.
Well, the Cup cars, from what I hear, is if you get in an accident or hit, you feel that more.
Right.
The driver absorbs more of that impact than some of the other cars.
The ARCA cars were disgustingly twitchy.
I did see Scott Melton up front.
He was.
Donut Man. I was rooting for him.
I was too.
I was going to call him up and say, hey, we need some donuts if you win. And then he got in an accident there and ended it anyways. Again, Hammer Down Hotline. You want to call or text anytime. There you go, 419-318-3081.
By the way, ARCA driver Scott Melton was a previous guest on the Hammer Down Racing Report.
And he sent us donuts.
Yeah.
Because he owns a donut shop.
Among other
And it
businesses.
was very good, yeah. How many? Let's do that and give away some pizza now, since I'm hungry and we're talking about food. And that's going to
How many?
So last week's how many was how many laps will the 35th place finisher of the Daytona 500 complete? And that turned out to be a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah?
Yeah, 185. Joey Logano, who tried to make a hole that wasn't really there. He ended up finishing 185 laps. You picked 176. I was a little more pessimistic there. I went with 102, so
Yeah.
I was way off. And I had our listener winner, and then I did not put it in here.
Oh, no.
Where did it go? I'm trying to remember who it was, because I went through and I looked, and they were close.
You better figure this out, because we owe him a pizza.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we'll give Dave something to do.
Okay.
Look through the comments of last week. It was in the Facebook comments. I think it was one of the first guesses. It was like 170 something. It was close to your guess. I think it was 179 was what they guessed.
Okay.
But I don't know why that I put it in there and then it's gone. I must have accidentally deleted it. So we'll get back to the winner there. But this week's how many, and a chance to win a large one-item East of Chicago pizza in Clyde, is how many people will correctly guess the next Oakshade Raceway 50th anniversary trivia question? How many correct guesses will we get? Yeah, basically like what we had here, where we had all the people on the wheel.
Right.
So I didn't count them up, but that many is how many we had for this week. How many will we have for next week? And yeah, you don't know what the question is yet, but here's a spoiler. The answer was given out earlier in tonight's show.
Really?
Yes. So, so I guess you could wait to put in your guess, because there is no rule that says you have to guess right now, but you can if you want to put your guess in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. Looks like we've already got some guesses going there already, so that's cool. John Young says he had 182. I don't remember seeing that. I think John's lying. We'll have to double check that. We'll have Dave double check that. So yeah, you get to guess first there.
22.
22. That's probably not too bad of a guess. I'm going to go with 23.
Oh.
It's 23. Because I can make a lot of extra posts to ask the question so that more people see it.
See that black flag over there?
Oh, that would be cheating. All right, I'll do one post then before next week's show. We'll give you until Tuesday at noon. Tuesday at noon to guess the how many.
Okay.
Which is how many correct answers will we have for the trivia question next week. So you have until noon, because there will be some more answers coming after noon because that's probably when I'll make the post for the trivia question.
Okay.
This is getting pretty complicated now, especially for this late. Let's
My head spins.
I know. One last time, I'll mention hashtag DCR for a chance to win the Hammer Down Race Report window sticker courtesy of DCR Graphics. Again, you can get those for just $5. Just give DCR Graphics a call. And we'll be doing that drawing here shortly after the East of Chicago pizza racing menu. So let's check out what's on the menu for this week, because I'm getting hungry again.
This weekend's racing menu.
Little skimpy on the racing action this weekend, but Friday night at Premier Speedway in Australia, it's the V8 Dirt Modified Australian Championship in Modified Sedans with V8 Dirt Modified. Yes, that's Friday. Saturday, it's V8 Dirt Modified Australian Championship 360 Ellis Sprint Cars and late models. So Friday, it's the V8 Dirt Modifieds and Modified Sedans.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a busy week. Been working on a big website. Esperance Speedway on Saturday. The Bullring Challenge featuring Legend Cars Formula 500 West Coast Series and Formula 500 Southeast Open. That all at Esperance Speedway. High-tech Toowoomba Speedway on Saturday. It's the Ultimate Pink Night.
Ooh.
Featuring sprint cars, super sedans, and mod lights. I'm not sure what the pink
I don't know.
is for that, but cool. Murray Bridge Speedway, Saturday. Modified sedans, MJS, street stocks, wingless sprints, mod lights, junior sedans, and classics. That's all Saturday at Murray Bridge. That's all the action in Australia. NASCAR back in action with all three main series. The FR8, otherwise known as Freight. 208 at Atlanta Speedway. Actually, all three are at Atlanta Motor Speedway this weekend. Trucks Saturday at 1:30 p.m. That'll be on FS1. The Xfinity Series. They have the Bennett Transportation and Logistics 250 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That'll be Saturday at 5 p.m. That'll be on the CW. I thought the CW did pretty good with the coverage.
I was a little PO'd about. They went to commercial when they were going green. They went to commercial, and there was a massive crash, and they stayed on commercial. Rather than breaking away from the commercial, it was a huge crash. You knew the cleanup was going to last 10, 15 minutes, and they could have gone back to break. But no, they continued on with like a 7-spot break, and then, oh, by the way, while we were away.
Okay, I like I like the ticker with the scores at the bottom,
Yeah.
as opposed to on the left side of the screen. I give them that at least.
All right. When there's a crash, go to it.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
something exciting happens, go away from break and come back to the commercial. The sponsors will appreciate that.
There you go. NASCAR Cup Series, the Ambetter Health 400 at Atlanta. That'll be on Sunday. That's scheduled to start at 3 o'clock on Fox. And that is your
Weekend racing roundup.
and I don't know if Dave is still looking for our winner, but probably giving him anxiety. I guess I can look for the winner if, Dave, you want to do the son of a gun. I have to do it on my phone. Dave, you want to do the DCR graphic spin to find out who is our winner of this week's DCR graphic Hammer Down Race Report window sticker? See if he's ready. Maybe.
I think we've lost Dave. He seems to be sleeping.
Hey, he looks like he's awake. He's moving.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Ooh, that's a big wheel, too.
There's a lot of people on there.
Oh, it's a red one.
Matt Swander. Congratulations, Matt Swander. You got yourself the Hammer Down Race Report window sticker, courtesy of DCR Graphics. You have 30 days to pick that up from Ram Miller Race Cars.
7135 Whiteford Center Road in beautiful Lambertville, Michigan.
There you go. And I don't know that first responders would want that. I know he likes to donate his pizzas. Did I give you two
Yeah.
or one? Is that one sticker?
Seems to be.
Okay. it seemed thick. Yeah. How about, I guess all we have left is our trivia question, except for our winner for last week. Is Dave still, Dave, are you still looking at that, or are you done? Or did you not do it? Yes or no? No, he's not doing it. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
All right. Well, then,
we will have to retabulate that and let you know next week.
I can tell you.
Lucky winner, you will have your pizza sooner or later.
Am I in the right show? I'm not in the right show. I can find it. Show you how to make the bacon's made.
Scott, it's getting hungry in here.
Oh, yeah, it is getting kind of late, isn't it? All right. We'll tell you what. I will contact. We'll post. I'll post the winner in a separate post after the show tonight. Go through all that and let Dean know so they can get the pizza, and I'll let the winner know as well. In the meantime, our Oakshade Raceway 50th anniversary trivia question for next week. Put your answer in the comments of this show on Facebook or YouTube. That's fine. And I'll also make a post with the question next week, and you can put your answer in there. Don't put it in both. Do one or the other. You only get to guess once. And spelling counts, and if you won, you can't win again. And there's only been 2 winners, so that's not going to eliminate a lot of people. So the question is, how many track championships did Ron Miller earn? And what years?
Ooh.
So there's going to be 3 components of this. You will need to put in how many championships he has. And if it was one, if he only won one, then there would just be a year. Actually, I already gave it away. It's more than one because I said there's 3 components. So it's at least 2. Then you got to put it in the years as well. So put in how many championships he's won, and then how many years, or the years that he won them.
Okay.
2025, 2026.
1804.
Yeah, that was when they had steam cars, right?
Barney and I were competitive.
So there again, you'll have until 3 o'clock on Thursday next week to make your guess. And if you weren't listening when that information, I don't think we gave away the years.
No.
Just how many championships. Chrissy kind of let that slip. So
no, she asked.
She did.
She asked how many.
Well, she may have gotten the right answer.
I don't know.
Yeah, you can find it someplace. It's on I'm sure it's on a website too. Let's get out of here. You're hungry.
I'm real hungry.
Okay. Thanks to producer Dave Kemmer, contributors John. Oh, wait a minute. We got to talk about next week's guest.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be real quick though. But we're back to this. Thanks to Dave Kemmer, contributors John Young, Les Hanna, Dean Henry, Matt Swanner, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on X at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio. You can watch us on Spotify. Check us out at hammerdownracereport.com. Make sure to rate and review us, too. That helps. Thanks to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway. Support these guys, too. Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos, Magic Moment Entertainment, Victory Fuel, Tytorg Racing Performance Parts, Dominator Racing Products, and DCR Graphics. Thanks to this week's guest, Christina Hendricks of Oakshade Raceway. Had fun reminiscing.
With a little bit of input from
Pam
Hendricks.
From the parents, yes. Family very involved with that track. Everybody involved with that track. And next week's guest, because you don't even know who it is, because I didn't tell you. No. It's going to be this guy. Races at Millbridge, and he did this last year after winning one of his races in a micro. You ready?
I'm ready.
Hopefully you'll be entertained. I was entertained.
Hey, how was your run out there? I mean, you dominated this one.
Well, here's the deal. I'm just the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. I'm just a small, non-hairy Texan winning machine. I mean, nobody can hang with our stuff. We got driven, metric cycles, 2 Scoops ice cream, Moyer's Lakeside Eatery, Joe Krause Designs, Tri-Paint Racing, and everybody else who helps me get here on board. So it's great to be here in Victory Lane.
That's Owen Halpane.
Really?
Yes, I believe 11 years old. So he's going to be on the show. That actually went viral. That's from August of last year.
Okay.
He's got a lot of wins at Millbury. That's from Talladega Nights, if you're not familiar.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. That was a Ricky Bobby thing. He kind of made it his own.
Yep.
I was talking to his mom earlier this week. She said they had no idea he was going to do that.
He embarrassed her?
I don't know about that. But she said he really likes to talk. So looking forward to talking to him next week.
Here we go.
On the show. He's got 2 brothers that race as well, younger brothers. So it'll be fun. That'll be next week on the show, 7 o'clock on Thursday. Yeah. So that's when we'll see you. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. That's a wrap on show number 367 of the Hammer Down Racing Report. We out.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.